Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, race 4 of the NASCAR Cup Series 2026 season. So far in picks, I'm 1 and 2. Obviously, I didn't pick Tyler Reddick in all 3 races, only picked him once. Wasn't expecting 3 straight from Tyler Reddick. What an amazing season for him it's been so far. 23-11 as a whole. Alright, the Straight Talk Wireless 500. It's actually a 500 kilometers race. Used to they advertise it as a 500K. They advertise at 500 now. It's 502.115 kilometers, 312 miles, 312 laps, 3 stages, 60, 125, and 127. 9 sets of tires, and fuel window is 92 to 100 laps. I think typically they'll run out stage 1. They'll probably pit a little over halfway through stage 2 and 3. And that way, we still have the ability to get through an overtime if we have it, or have fresh tires at the end of the day if that's what they so choose. 13 of the last 17 Phoenix winners started inside the top 8. The only exceptions are Christopher Bell. The last 2 March races, he actually started 11th and 13th. He starts 12th today. Interesting. So when we look at not just Phoenix, we look at a lot of the flatter tracks like Phoenix, which includes the Iowas, New Hampshire's, Richmonds. Phoenix included Martinsville and Worldwide Technology Raceway as well. So when you add all those, 7 tracks up, all the races in the Gen 7 era, that's 33 races on those flat type tracks. Ryan Blaney leads the way with an average finish of 8.45 with 5 wins. That tracks in the 8 races at Phoenix. Ryan Blaney has an average finish of 6.75 with 2 wins. Joey Logano is second with 8.69 average finish on all those flat tracks with 3 wins. Kyle Larson 9.09 with 2 wins. Denny Hamlin 10.61 with 4 wins. That close to 5 wins and that close to a championship last year. Now I know a lot of people complain about stage racing in NASCAR. They complain about the green white checker. That's one of my favorite complaints. Because we complain when the race is under caution, but we complain about the green white checker. Here's the thing. If we would have used, not sure what year the actual world champion, 2015-ish. Let's just go 2000 or 1998. If we used the 1998 rules for the end of the race at Phoenix last year, we would have ran the last 3 laps under caution. Denny Hamlin would be the grinder champion. But how many people, some of you included watching, some of them may not, how many people would have lost a gasket that race ended under caution and that Denny Hamlin wasn't a deserving champion because he didn't run all the race under green? Who would have complained about that? I think a lot of people would have. NASCAR was in a no-win situation. We complain about these races under caution. They can at least try, but then we complain about when they at least try and have a green white checker. And I hate that for Denny Hamlin last year. You even think about that, hey, one rule is this, yeah. But again, average finish 10.61 on these flat tracks with 4 wins. The guy knows how to get it done. Christopher Bell, average finish 11.0 on these flat tracks with 5 wins. Chase Elliott, 11.2 average finish with no wins. William Byron, 11.33 with 5 wins. Ross Chastain, 11.76 with a win. Chase Briscoe, 14.48 with a win. And Chris Buescher, 14.81 with 1 win. Now, those same 8 tracks, the flat tracks, we're talking again, Phoenix, Iowa, New Hampshire, Richmond, Martinsville, and Worldwide Technology. Just those tracks. 8 races last year in 2025. Ryan Blaney led the way with average finish of 6.75 with 2 wins. Joey Logano 6.87. Kyle Larson 8.62. Christopher Bell 9.0 with a win. Win was at this race. Chase Elliott average finish 10.88. William Byron 11.13 with 2 wins. Denny Hamlin 11.38 with 2 wins. Ross Chastain 12.13. Ryan Preece 13.0. Austin Dillon 13.5 and a win. That was that Phoenix win. Now remember, this past 2025 Richmond win for Austin Dillon was fairly clean. The 2024 is the one where he decided to pinball a couple different drivers out of the way. You can do one, you can't do 2. All right, in the 8 races in the Gen 7 car at Phoenix, Ryan Blaney average finish of 8.45 in a win. Kyle Larson 9.25. Ross Chastain 9.87 in a win. Chris Buescher 9.87. Denny Hamlin 10.25. William Byron 11.12 in a win. Joey Logano 11.25 and 2 wins. Seabell 12.0 and 2 wins. Kyle Busch 12.87. Tyler Reddick 14.12. Oh, Tyler Reddick's in the conversation already and is going for 4 straight. Now, can he get there? I don't know. The last driver to win 4 straight races in the season was 2009, Jimmy Johnson. The one that I remember the most was 1992, and Bill Elliott. He won race 2, 3, 4, and 5, and did not, quote, did not win the championship that year. All right, now, during those 8 races at Phoenix, the average running position. So this is where they averaged per lap through the entire race. In this case, 8 races. What position they averaged the entire race. Doesn't mean how they finished, because they can obviously, once you're done, your average running position stops because you ended up in that spot, or as you start dropping positions. So you might be 100 laps in the same position until somebody passes you for the race. So William Byron has an average running position of 4.95 at Phoenix, which is crazy, when his average finish is 11.12. Ryan Blaney average running position 5.86. Kyle Larson 8.30. Denny Hamlin 8.69. Tyler Reddick 9.83. Ross Chastain 9.91. Christopher Bell 10.6. Joey Logano 11.57. Chase Elliott 11.8. And then Chris Buescher 13.8. All right, on the NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup, what I do is I typically look at like the flat tracks, the similar tracks. I look at the Phoenix results. I look at kind of the average finishes, all the numbers that I talked about just now. I look at those numbers and kind of try to put together the best team based on that. Obviously, it doesn't always work. You always have those outliers that come up, and all of a sudden, like, boom, there you go. They're just running well off this track, and then that kind of throws the numbers off a little bit, and boom, they're up to the top all the time. So the Fantasy Live lineup there, NASCAR Fantasy Live, I'm playing Ryan Blaney. Obviously, he's won here. He's done awesome here. Denny Hamlin, due to his run last fall. Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick. I'm taking a shot with him now. I'm going to keep rolling that dice. Christopher Bell, and I got Joey Logano in the garage. And for those of you who are new to NASCAR Fantasy Live, you have a garage pick before the end of stage 2. So in this case, before lap 185, if one of my 5 guys on the main lineup, say, let's just go with Kyle Larson, for instance. Kyle Larson blows the tire, knocks the wall down. So long as sometime before the end of stage 2, I get Joey Logano in for Larson, that just basically means what Larson did doesn't count for me, and what Logano did count. And so if Logano ends up winning, and I get him in there, awesome. Those points count for my total. If not, oh well, you're SOL. It does obviously make a big difference because some of those drivers can have trouble during the race. There are 4 head-to-heads there on NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup. Tyler Reddick versus Kyle Larson. This one was hard. I know how well Larson runs this track. Reddick doesn't really. I mean, if you look at the average finish of the 8 Phoenix races, Kyle Larson has an average finish of 9.25. The second highest, and Tyler Reddick 14.12. So logic would say Kyle Larson would outrun Tyler Reddick. Well, Tyler Reddick's on the high of winning 3 straight. Yeah, I actually went ahead and picked Kyle Larson on that one. Denny Hamlin versus Joey Logano. Denny Hamlin. Ryan Blaney versus Christopher Bell. That's another tough one. If you look at Ryan Blaney, average finish 8.45. Christopher Bell's won the last 2 spring races, but he has an average finish at 12.0. And then Ross Chastain versus Chris Buescher. I went ahead and went with the Ross man, Ross Chastain. All right. Points after 3 of 26 regular season races. Obviously, Tyler Reddick with 3 wins leads the way. 70-point lead over Bubba Wallace. Then it gets super tight. 2nd through 35th. So Bubba Wallace through Eric Jones in 35th are separated by 84 points. Put that in perspective, you can get, 76 points in a race. So you can get max of 76 points in a race. So the difference, you can gain 75 points in a race because you get 1 point for finishing last. You can gain 75 points in a race 35th currently is 84 points behind. So if the bottom half of the field, if they just flipped the field and did this race, and everybody down underneath got more points than everybody above, it could just really cattywampus this point system right now, point standings right now. But second place is Bubba minus 70. Chase Elliott is third minus 72. Ryan Blaney fourth minus 84. Shane Van Gisbergen is fifth minus 96. Joey Logano is sixth minus 96. I know Shane's sitting there in fifth after 2 super speedways and a road course. If he can just maintain on these oval tracks that he's not good at yet, and just run 20th, 15th to 20th, I think that will help him obviously grow his ability to run the ovals, and also will help him in points as well. Dino Suarez 7th minus 99. AJ Allmendinger 8th minus 100. Michael McDowell in 9th minus 103. Carson Hocevar in 10th minus 104. 3 Spires in the top 10. Dino Suarez, McDowell, and Hocevar. And they qualified well here as well. So like they're hitting on something this year. Spires qualified 4th with Suarez. 7th with Carson Hocevar. And then 16th for Michael McDowell. I know there's this new information out there about JGR hired a PI to follow Chris Gabehart, about him trying to poach sponsors. And with the rumor out there about Monster and Carson Hocevar, that kind of aligns a little bit. Sorry, it does. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit more, because supposedly some of the information that Chris Gabehart took, again, allegedly, this is what is being accused, was sponsor payout information. So if he's talking to sponsors, if say Monster is paying Joe Gibbs $8 million a year to be on those cars, and Spire can say, you know what, you can pay us $5 million a year to be on our car. Yeah, I can see sponsors going, well, it's going to be cheaper to go over there. Why not? So yeah, this could get uglier before it gets cleaner. So we'll see what happens there. If that is why Spire's all of a sudden running well, they were running well last year as well. So Chris Buescher is 11th minus 105. Greg Keselowski 12th minus 108. William Byron in 13th minus 110. Zane Smith minus 111 and 14th. Kyle Larson 15th minus 113. And Ryan Preece in 16th minus 118. Remember, this year we have the chase. No winning you're in, so the top 16 make the chase no matter how many wins they have. Currently in 17th right now is Ty Gibbs minus 121. Noah Gragson 18th. Ty Dillon, Ross Chastain, John Hunter, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin sitting in 23rd. From 17th Ty Gibbs to 23rd Denny Hamlin, they are 8 points out of the chase. So that's how close that is as well. Christopher Bell, Riley Herbst, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Briscoe, Josh Berry, Cole Custer, and Todd Gilliland is your top 30. Austin Cindric is 31st. Connor Zilisch is 32nd. 32nd is 31 points out of the chase. So yeah, it's super close between 2nd and 35th. Again, 84 points separate those 34 positions. So we just have a outlier of our points leader right now is 70 points. And again, once again, 76 points is the max points you can gain in a single race. That's 75-point difference between first and last. If you max points to 1 point, so literally Tyler Reddick is 5 points more or less than a full race. Let that sink in after 3 races. So technically, after this race, he could have a full race lead. All right, the 4 picks to win the Straight Talk Wireless 500. Again, I'm only 1 and 2 this year in the Cup Series. So I'm struggling a little bit. So hopefully we get one of these. Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick. Yeah, I'm going for 4 straight on Tyler. Joe Logano. Now, I was going to go Denny Hamlin. And now that I'm going to change it, because I'm not taking Denny, now that I'm going to change it, he'll probably end up winning, but that's cool. Bell, Christopher Bell. He was won the last 2 March Phoenix races. He started 11th and 13th in those 2 races. Today he's starting 12th. Could you imagine Christopher Bell winning 3 straight at a track and starting 11th, 12th, and 13th in those 3 races? Yeah, I think the numbers are looking at that. So the 4 picks to win, again, are Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Joe Logano, and Christopher Bell. Watch Denny Hamlin go off and win this now. that is the preview of the Straight Talk Wireless 500 NASCAR Cup Series race at Phoenix. Still got to finish the O'Reilly Auto Parts race and then the IndyCar race. But I'm about 3/4 way through the IndyCar race. So far, it looks like a pretty good race. I love the fact that they kind of brought in Joey in the booth because we know how good he is anyway. We got guys down pit road. Obviously, the Penske tie helps with that. So maybe it can be an all Penske sweep. They swept the poles. Maybe they can sweep the races. And then all you people are going to complain that NASCAR gave Penske an opportunity to do that. They let him cheat. They gave him more power. They obviously didn't want Tyler Reddick winning 4 straight. So I guess the lawsuit meant nothing. That's what's going to be the storylines this week probably. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. You'll just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.